What's going on, guys? My name is Renegade and today I'm here to bring you the second episode of my weekly AQW news update. And as you may already notice, the format has changed for the background and everything, and this should be the regular format, I guess. But on this week's episode, we're going to be just focusing on Dage's birthday, as that is coming in the next few days. So yeah, let's get straight into that. Right, so we'll first start off with what we got in the newsletter. So in the weekly newsletter, we got a little image at the bottom saying, "Coming soon, Week of Evil. Dage the Evil's birthday is coming. Be sure to log in on February 27th with Dage's releases his Blackout Surprise Armor." Now, the Blackout Surprise Armor, I presume, is separate from the Legion DoomKnight class and armor. So let's presume that we're getting a Blackout Surprise Armor alongside the Legion DoomKnight, but that could be, I guess that could have changed since then, because that was a little while ago, but I just thought I might as well talk about that. Then we saw Alina post quite a while ago, actually. I think it was 5 days ago or something. 3rd of the 2nd, 2015, the birthday of Evil is coming. Alina posts also the Legion DoomKnight class is coming to AQW.com. Will you embrace the darkness? Now, we've already heard about all this. I presume everyone knows from my previous video. But yeah, we're getting the class. It's not an armor. We're getting a class and an armor. Artix posts this on Twitter. 3rd of the 2nd of 2015 is going to be a bad day for Paladins. AQ.com, Dage's birthday. Dage posts a teaser, and it's just the same image again. Zeraldo posted that this class may be the doom of me, so we're getting notification that he may be producing the DoomKnight, the Legion DoomKnight class, and which is a good sign because Zeraldo is a really good class designer. He did Cryomancer, Artifact Hunter, and a third class. I can't remember which one it is. And Zeraldo said, "Then, if I mess up with my design of the Legion DoomKnight class, what do you think, Dage? Do you think Dage the Evil will kick me out of the Legion?" So yeah, he's definitely making it. It's already confirmed now. Then we got a post on a design notes, February 23rd, which is yesterday for me, no, a couple of days ago. And Alina did this post, and I'll just read this entire thing out. You can also go to the design notes yourself to look at this, but she said, "Next Monday, Dage's birthday. Dage's birthday shop opens this Friday. Dage's birthday isn't until Sunday, but we decided to start celebrating early, and that means plenty of evil gear for heroes of every alignment. Log into Battlon this weekend and talk to Dage to open his birthday shop." So Dage is coming to Battlon. I don't suppose that's very important, but Nolgath didn't come to Battlon this year for his birthday, but Dage actually is coming to Battlon, so that's cool, I guess. Available on this Friday in the Rares shop, Legion DoomKnight armor, helm, blade, and there's a Dage Underworld Fortress, which we also got a picture of from Alina saying that they were testing it, so I think it's coming out on Friday, because often they'll delay something like that, because it's a house. House items, including the Underwood Blacksmith with a quest for additional weapons, so we're getting, hopefully that house will be rare, so we're getting a whole bunch of items rare with the house. And maybe some birthday surprises, so that might tag along with the Blackout Surprise Armor that was hinted, but I don't confirm anything, that's all of what we've heard. And she said additional gear, including the Legion DoomKnight class, will be added to Dage's birthday shop on Monday, March 2nd. So the class itself is coming to Dage's shop on the 2nd of March, not actually on Friday. So that is Tuesday, I believe. But I can't actually remember. I'm just getting it off the top of my head. Let's actually look. That is the Monday. Okay, so we're getting it on Monday. It's Tuesday for me. And there was a little asterisk on the Dage's Underwood Fortress when she listed that, and the asterisk says, "These are the first in-game backgrounds Dage has ever created, dark and deadly, and definitely the go-go home if you roll an evil character." So I guess it's a little nostalgia thing there. Zeraldo got the breakdown of the class on the design notes as well. I'll read that out too. So we started to get more information about the class in the same design notes post, and they said, Legion DoomKnight class details. Even DoomKnights have been known to swear or forced into service to Dage the Evil. The humanity they once possessed has been wholly given over to Dage's darkness and doom itself. The Legion DoomKnight class will release on Monday, March 2nd, and is a single target hybrid, so we're not getting an AoE class like the previous years. A Legion Evolved Darkcaster, but it's always good to have something different, I guess. And she also said you'll want to use Strength or Intellect with this, which is interesting. They don't usually actually post the class enhancements in the design notes, but that's kind of interesting. In order of importance, stats are strength, intellect, endurance, dexterity, wisdom, and luck. So he purposely put it luck last. He said he always hates making a luck class. He didn't like the fact with Artifact Hunter, this is Zeraldo I'm talking about here, he didn't like the fact that with Artifact Hunter the recommended enhancement was luck, because that's just too generic for him. He wanted to make something different. I think he has this time. He says, he also said PvE battles with good survivability and reliable damage output. The class will be good for PvE. It has consistent, relentless damage as opposed to doing large spike damage crits. So what they mean by that is a large spike damage crit would be something like with Chrono Dragon Knight, where you spam your buffs again and again and again and again and again, and then bang, you get like a 150k crit or something like that. You're not doing that. They're getting possibly like 2k crits that are just easy to repeat. You can just spam them, I guess, and just keep going and going and going and going. So, yeah, he said relentless damage rather than big crit spikes. And you'll also be doing bonus damage to your target, and with receiving less damage from the target if you're dealing and taking normal damage from other targets. If you're going, and this is PvP, if you're going head to head against other players, you're in luck. This class can stop your opponent from healing and also has a nice amount of chance to hit bonuses. It can also heal itself, which comes in handy during normal battles, and can get opponents from a distance. So yeah, good PvP class as well. We're looking at a soloing class and a PvP class, and then we got the skills. I'll just do an overview of this, but he said the skills aren't final, and he didn't really want to do this, the breakdown, but so many people requested it. He just did a sort of halfway done, I guess, breakdown, so this isn't final, anywhere near final. So the first one is called Touch of Doom, and it basically applies a buff to yourself, which stacks, increases the damage to your opponent, takes from you, and decreases the amount of damage they deal to you. So you're weakening your opponent and increasing your own damage, and you can stack it 5 times. You attack, your second move is Soul Split. You attack your opponent's soul directly, taking some of their power to strengthen yourself and their life force to heal yourself. So again, I think you're weakening your enemy and you're doing a heal, similar to Necromancer, I think. With their Necromancer, when you use it, it sort of weakens them and heals you. Immerse yourself in the darkness, it's your third move. Immerse yourself in the darkness of the Legion of Doom. Use shadows to strike at your opponent unexpectedly, doing moderate magic damage. Applies Torment for 4 seconds. Doom Haste, last move. Doom hastens and Legion beckons. Strike for a large damage, and hasten your opponent's doom, dealing a temporary DOT. Also adds temporary decay, preventing your opponent from healing. So preventing your opponent from healing, that's really interesting. So that will be really handy in PvP. Not so much in just any old battle, because your opponents don't really heal in normal monster battles, but in PvP, imagine when you are going up against an Oracle or something and you use this move on them. You're stopping them from healing completely. And so that's really interesting. I don't think any other classes have ever done that. Now, this is what we've all been waiting for. How to get the Legion DoomKnight class. Now, I screwed it up in my last video. And I said that you needed the Sepulchre's DoomKnight armor. Let me just say straight away, you do not need the Sepulchre's DoomKnight armor to get the class. There are 3 possible ways. So they said by 2000 ACs, so it is confirmed 2000 ACs. We didn't really expect anything more because the class has never been more than that, apart from the Chaos Champion Prime and the Ultra Elemental Warrior. Farm for the class if you have Sepulchre's DoomKnight armor. Now, that's interesting because they said that you can do that or farm it with Legion tokens if you're a part of the Legion. So if you're not part of the Legion, there's really no way to get Legion tokens very efficiently, or I think at all. And so you won't be farming for the class with Legion tokens if you have the Sepulchre's DoomKnight armor. So you'll be farming it for a different way. I would hope that you'd have to just turn in your Sepulchre's DoomKnight armor you have in your inventory and just turn it in, and out comes the class. But maybe they're gonna make it so there's a farmable quest or something that you can do that requires the Sepulchre's DoomKnight armor. I don't know, but they also said something interesting down the bottom. They said, if you are one of the only 1004 heroes who have the armor, give yourself a pat on the back. Sepulchre's DoomKnight armor will get a stat boost similar to the Bloodline Destiny this Friday. So that's actually interesting. 1004 people have the armor. That's kind of interesting. You sort of, with AQW, you sort of know for a fact with limited quantity shops how many people have that item. But with this, they've actually told us only 1,000 people have Sepulchre's DoomKnight armor, So you know for a fact 1,000 people have got it. And you sort of want to think with other things. You hardly ever see some items in AQW and you wonder how many people have it. And it's just kind of interesting they've actually told us this. And I didn't actually know that you could find out how many people had an item. But I suppose you're turning in a quest and getting a badge, so they could just search the database, I guess, for people who have the badge. But that's still really interesting. 1,000 people have the Doomknight armor. Kind of expected more, especially with botters. But after that, we had some posts from Zeraldo, which is about 9 hours ago, as I'm making this video. And he said, I think everyone is overreacting to the Legion Doomknight info. You're making assumptions without knowing the full details. So everyone's actually been talking to Zeraldo with that class breakdown, the skills, that they're saying, it's going to be crap. They're telling Zeraldo that it's bad. And so he's just responding saying, you can't really judge it before you use it. And Zeraldo said some more stuff. A lot of people were actually commenting on the fact that it wasn't really suiting the Doomknight theme. And Zeraldo said, I did go back to the Dragon Fable, the AE game that Doomknights are from, and used Doomknight class there for inspiration. So he actually used the original Doomknight class for that, for the inspiration. So that is I commend him for that. It's a good idea. Going back to the original Doomknight and using inspiration, not the one in AQW, and that one's terrible. I hate it. But yeah, so that's interesting that he did that. Of course, I'll be bringing up pictures on the screen throughout this whole time, but we did have some just some other things, I guess, from Dage during the week. He posted a little while ago a picture of someone called it a Dage's Legion Batman. They called it Legion Batman. Now, bring up a picture on screen. Someone just snapshotted this from a live stream, but yeah, it looks kind of like Batman, I guess. That might be added in the shop. Never know. Some scythes that they had as well. And then the merge. Dage said with it, he said, new Zealous Reavers, mysterious armor set, and added new details to animations to yesterday's weapons. I do smell this merge. So, yeah. They've got a bow, some like scythes, and like a handle for a scythe, I guess. It's just basically the handle. And they do the Batman armor. Someone called it a Batman armor. I don't know if that's actually what it's called. Maybe that's the blackout surprise. It looks pretty blacked out to me. Dage said there is a separate armor version that does not have a cloak for then new set. That's literally what he said. I can't really tell if that's the same armor as the one we saw in the Batman. It is, yes it is. So that's the one we saw in the Batman. Bring up on screen. And then, yeah, that's basically it, guys. So we did basically just hear about that all week. So it's been a pretty long video. I had to go over all of it because everyone's just going crazy over this. As I said, on Friday we will get the armor for the class. We'll get the armor and some items and some surprises. And also, just as a side note, every year the token required to merge Legion Titan, which is a really high profile Legion armor, it returns every year during his birthday, so that's going to be returning presumably this year as it's tagged seasonal. And then you can merge your Legion Titan, so be sure to farm 200 Dage's Favors, I believe, to get that, or 300, I can't remember, might even be 500, I don't know. And then just merge it, and then even if you don't have the required Legion tokens, you just merge that, just keep that until you have the Legion tokens, because this thing returns once a year, and it kind of pisses me off every time I want to make Legion Titan, but I can't because it's technically seasonal. So yeah, just look out for that. And that about does it for an episode, guys. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and a favorite. Want to see more of this sort of thing on my channel, be sure to click that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.